indeed a very sad Saturday on the 27th of April 2024 when the news of this popular prophetess hit the internet. Prophetess Morenikeji Bashirat Adeleke lost her life without giving anybody a pre-information of any tragic scenario coming to her life. And people started wondering, something must have happened before anything will happen. And all the accusing fingers were pointed to the husband, whom they described as being greedy and selfish. And the husband said it is only someone who is not living that will wait and see this kind of allegation be labeled on him. And he decided to come out to clear his own name. And according to him, he introduced himself as Prophet Moses Adeleke. And the way he met Bashirat Morenikeji Adeleke is a very spiritual encounter, because as of 2010, Ebion, whom we know as Morenikeji, was having some spiritual problems in her life and she needed solution. At that time, Mr. Moses Adeleke's father was the person handling the church, and he was the person that Ebion met when she got to the church.
In 2010, over sort of academy for spiritual consultation.
She told this man her problem, and this man went into prayer. During prayers, that was when Egbionu went spiritual. She went into the spirit and started prophesying. And that was the first sign that he knew that this woman had some spiritual powers. After the prayer, you can imagine the son of a prophet and a church member, they started dating. And that was the point where the father told Mr. Moses, I want you to marry this lady. I love her. But they didn't waste time. They got married in 2010. But as soon as they got married, Mr. Moses, who was working as a travel agent and also an estate agent, had to go back to his work, leaving the services of the church to Bashirat Morenikeji Adeleke. That is Egbionu. She was the one in charge of everything. Remember that she had this nursing background, so she was taking charge of every delivery in this CNS church. And this man had to go out, work on the field, and bring in money. But before he knew what was happening, Egbionu started introducing some things into the service of the church, which he described as not being comfortable with. And this incident was bringing problems between the two of them. He never loved what the wife was doing. They were in and out of separation. Since they couldn't contain it, despite the fact that as they were in and out of separation, they were given birth together. In 2019, that is on January 3rd, they decided to go their separate ways. But the children had to move in with Egbionu. She was the one in custody of the children, and the husband remained in the church. And I guess that was when Egbionu decided to float her ministry. This woman suddenly became rich. She had this power. She was helping people. She was loosing people from bondage. You will never go to her church without getting your deliverance. And that was when she started acquiring all this wealth for herself. But this never made her to lose communication with her husband, Prophet Moses. They had a perfect communication. They were still communicating, considering the fact that they had children in between them. But there was something that they never intend to do together. To move in together, for the husband to move in with the wife. Because when he was asked, have you not thought of it, of coming back together, in spite of the fact that you guys had a very cordial relationship as friends and not as husband and wife? According to him, the wife proposed reconciliation and the children wanted this reconciliation. But according to the wife, she wanted the husband to move in with her where she built her house. And according to Yoruba culture, it is the wife that moves in with the husband and not the husband to the wife. And based on this fact, they stayed separately.
But she had to come to where she built a house. Where you special tradition Yorùbá ọkùnrin ò kí ń kó lọ bá obìnrin máa kó wá bá ọkọ ẹ̀ ni.
But that never affected their relationship. According to Prophet Moses, he was the dream interpreter for Morenikeji Bashirat. He said even in January of this year that she had a dream and had to call him to tell him the dreams. He had to interpret the dreams, told her what to do and not what to do. But at the time where everybody was seeing this woman on social media dancing, doing a lot of things, she was undergoing a lot of pain in her back and she was having something like numbness. That is when they see that you don't have any sensation on your leg. She was having this sickness in and out and she had been confiding in the husband, but this woman knew that something was wrong because she wanted to transfer all her wealth to the husband. Everything she had acquired, her plaza, her church, her houses, she was traveling all over. But this man said, no, I don't want anything from you. All I wanted from you is use all those things you needed to give to me, use it to train our children. And this woman had been doing that until January of this year when she said the pain was so much and she needed to seek medical attention. She first came to Canada and she was told that Canada might not be able to handle whatever problem that was in her life and they referred her to United States of America. In March of 2024, she got this visa to travel to United States, and as soon as she got to United States, she sought medical attention. But there was something she was doing on social media that a lot of people didn't know. All her dancing, showing off and everything, this woman was going through a lot of pain. At a point, the husband said she called him and was still telling him all those things that were happening in her life. And he was the one that advised her to stop dancing on social media. First, what you went to the United States to do. Dancing on social media is not going to show you anything. And the wife heeded his advice. She sought medical attention. She was operated upon. And she came out successful. And that was why she needed to come back to Nigeria. She came back to Nigeria. And this man never heard anything until he said he was called on the 27th of April 2024 that his wife was dead. He kind of said, I never believed it when I heard it at first that my wife was dead. What happened? My wife was okay. And the sister who even narrated this story to him said that she got this crisis and they had to take her to a Nigerian hospital and she never survived this incident. This is a case of where do I start from? And that was why this man stood up and said, okay, I will come back to our home to see what was happening. And that was when people started doing things that was not in line with the belief of this man.
If not that I am a man and I stood on my feet, wọn fẹ́ gbà ká sí lánàá Saturday lọ fẹ́ sí who does that? Láì ṣe Mùsùlùmí. You cannot just bury my wife as if you are burying a chicken. I will be there. I will give her a befitting burial. Àwọn sọ pé ohun tó fi sílẹ̀ pé kíákíá kan sí ohun tó máa mú ní it's okay. On that 24 hours, I will do what I'm supposed to do.
They wanted to bury Morenikeji the same day that she died, according to Islamic rite. Remember, by her name, I guess she had Islamic background. But this husband said, no, we might be separated. She's still my wife. We never got divorced. And we had this cordial relationship, despite the fact that we might not be living together. You cannot bury my wife like a chicken. I had to give my wife a befitting burial. And that was what this man did. And on Sunday, the 28th of April 2024, Bashirat was buried amidst tears, wailing, sorrow, and a lot of agony in the life of our church members. But all this while, people are still saying that it was the husband that had a hand in her death. And the husband said something that touched my mind. He said, several occasions, even before she traveled to United States for the surgery, she called me and said, I wanted to hand over everything I had. And this man said, no, I don't want anything from you. If you need to hand anything over to me, go and give it to your lawyer. I know why. And at another point, he told the husband that she wanted to give him money. And the husband said, no, I don't want anything from you. give it to people that need it. This statement is mysterious because I have not seen a woman as worthy as Egbionu was, and she will intend to give money to the husband and the husband will say no. People have been saying maybe because of all those things she was introducing, using herbs and roots to work in the church. Maybe that was why the husband was skeptical about getting money from her. But nobody can tell. And this woman is no longer here to give her own version of the story. It was a very tragic event. She died without leaving things the way they were supposed to be, especially her church, because a lot of women prophetess, they have come out to talk and said she never handed over her church to anyone. And remember that her church is different from her husband's church. She was a prophetess in her own soul established church, and the husband is a prophet in his own father's church. How do we settle this case? This woman is gone. The children are now back to school because according to the husband, this woman paid the school fees of her children till they will finish secondary school.
But lately mo gbọ́ pé from reliable source pé ó sọ pé òun ti sanwó school àwọn ọmọ ẹ̀ ló sọ fún mi ọjọ́ta ó sọ pé ó school àwọn sílẹ̀.
Does that tell you something? That this woman might know that her time was up, but why is it that she never sought help? Why is it that people are saying it was the husband that had a hand in her death? Your guess is as good as mine. But one thing we have to say is this: no matter how you think you are spiritual, no matter how you think you are smart, when you notice something is wrong with your organs, run to the hospital. Bible is good, Holy Spirit is good, healing is good, testimonies are good, but medicine is better. Please run to the hospital, take care of your health, then come back and worship God. You know what? Wisdom is profitable.